synthetic ingredients. My name is Amy. I am a food educator, speaker, and author of The Hidden Consumer: Uncovering the Power of Health Conscious Buyers. Today, we're going to look into the ingredient labels and show you what to look for. At the end of this video, you will have more confidence in your ability to buy maple syrup. Even before I became sick, I knew most of the maple syrup on the market was fake, but I did not understand what ingredients were making it fake or the impact it was having on health. A lot of the peer-reviewed research I've been doing over the last decade, doing as in reading, not physically in a lab here, but reading, has uncovered a lot of things about the connection between these ultra-processed, these synthetic foods, and how they're impacting everything from inflammation to bloating to kidney failure to heart disease. So let's talk about what that looks like when you're eating syrup. Now, I love pancakes. I have always loved pancakes, flapjacks. I don't care. I don't care. Just let me have it. So we used to like always have syrup in the house, but true maple syrup wasn't something we had a lot of. So right now I'm going to share with you ultra processed ingredients that are in fake or synthetic maple syrup. Makes up pretty much everything on the market. It doesn't matter what brand you're buying, they all have the same ingredients. One of the things I do before I do these videos is I actually go through and I go to grocery store websites and I look at what they sell for maple syrups. And then I go through and I'm like, and there's really no difference. It doesn't matter the brand that you're buying. If these are the ingredients, it's going to be in all of those synthetic lab created ingredients. So, you're paying for a name, right? We've all heard that. And maple syrup is a great example of how you're always paying for a name. What's fascinating for me on top of all this is I am from Minnesota, born in a small town, northern Minnesota, grew up on the shores of Lake Superior in a town called Superior, Wisconsin. And what's interesting is I remember in elementary school, we did a school trip where we went to tap maple trees. We got to go out in the forest. We got to see the trees being tapped, so it was late winter, early spring, because that's, how maple syrup is processed is your tree, as it's coming out of hibernation, it's going to heat up. And as the weather around it gets warmer, sap's going to start to come out, right? Super simplified version here of what this is what you do. But making natural maple syrup has been around since the beginning of time. The people who lived here first on this land, they were using maple syrup and tapping these trees and other trees for their sap for other benefits. But they were making maple syrup and then boiling it down into actual sugar. So if you're not from a cold climate and you've never had pure organic maple sugar, oh, you're missing out, man. That says the maple syrup lover and pancake lover, but amazing stuff, right? So sidetrack there, sorry. So if you're wanting to not buy ultra processed syrup, you're probably still buying something that looks like this for your ingredients, right? It just says maple syrup. Nothing else. Just says maple, no organic, nothing else. The key here is, yes, it is so much better to eat something that just says ingredients maple syrup than it is to eat the ultra processed synthetic stuff. This will always be better, right? So if you are willing to switch out your maple syrup to something that just says maple syrup on it, awesome, go for it. The thing here is, because the word organic isn't there, that means you can't guarantee there aren't additional hidden ingredients, right? This week I did a blog post on you can't always track your food reactions because we have hidden ingredients in our ingredients. And I'm going to pull up the ultra processed ones again because sugar is actually a great example of sugar is never just sugar. Sugar is 5 to 10% cornstarch, right? If you open your bag of sugar or you have a sugar at home and it never clumps, there is cornstarch added. It does not have to be stated which is why it's a hidden ingredient. You don't know it's there, but it's there. Water, you can actually say the same thing. Water is typically stored in plastics. Plastics, all those food grade plastics, start breaking down within the water, so you're drinking microplastics. And the same thing goes with the container that you're buying your syrup in then, right? So you got microplastics from the container of syrup, microplastics into your water. So again, hidden ingredients. In processed, you get you're going to still, it's a processed maple syrup. It's not like made in a lab, but it's not necessarily straight from a tree. Not in the sense that we will think of it like an organic maple syrup would be. So there's still something hidden in there, but it's still healthier than eating one of the other brands of maple syrup. Now, my safe maple syrup, and I have been using, I'm going to share you, I'm going to give you a link. I'll do all that fun stuff here in the chat. This Run Amok maple syrup, I have been using them since March of 2018 when I found them on a vacation I was on. They are a great example of why I don't always share the brands I use, because I don't want people to think that everything within a brand is safe. Typically, they have a product or maybe two products, but not everything within their catalog is going to be made to the same standards as what I can actually enjoy. Run Amok, unfortunately, is one of those great examples. If you already eat like the processed maple syrup, it doesn't say organic on it. This might be another level you would want to go to. Some of the things they do that I'm just like, oh, Run Amok, really? But I know they have to do what they have to do to stay in business. I get it. And I'll get to that in a second. So what do I enjoy from Run Amok? Run Amok, the only thing I can really have without having a reaction is Sugarmaker's Cut. I am trialing their dark maple syrup right now. I'm not positive I'm not having a reaction, but I haven't had a reaction so severe that I'm like, because it is still syrup and I love my maple syrup. Just do. So something to consider. But they have other things. So let's say you are a mom, you have a little bit extra money and you want to make sure your kids are eating healthy, but you want to make it fun. Run Amok does have glitter maple syrup. Not my thing. I'm like nearly 50 here, so glitter maple syrup, not my jam. But if you are a mom or you're someone who that is like, that sounds cool, look at the ingredients on their other brands compared to what you're already eating and look and see, does those ingredients match up for you? And if you're comfortable with it, go for it. Nothing says no, you can't. Just be aware of what you're ingesting. That's really, at the end of the day, all I'm doing for everybody. And every time I talk about companies and when I talk about the ingredients, I just want you to be aware of where those hidden ingredients could be. So, I will tell you, because I am trialing the dark, I have been buying their signature bundle. It's the dark and the Sugarmaker's Cut. With most things that I eat, because this is an organic, this is tapped, it is pure Vermont maple syrup, people. Like, it is right out of the tree into a glass bottle that comes to my house here in California. Yes, I've been, so they have traveled with me from Minnesota to California, but it's amazing. The taste, the flavor profile. If you are someone that likes a little bit more than just a basic maple syrup, the first pack I ever trialed from them was, they had a trial pack, and I think it was whiskey barrel, rum, and then there was like a lavender something. There was one other one. Oh, I think it was just like a basic maple syrup. I reacted to everything but the basic maple syrup. So even back in the day before they had glitter, I knew Sugarmaker's Cut was the only thing. And it's because as an organic maple syrup, their standards are high enough that it's going to keep me mostly safe. I don't eat it on a regular basis. Like, this is a special treat for me. I typically buy from Run Amok once or twice a year based on how, whatever that my husband really likes this too. So it's not like it's just me. So, and what's even better, pure maple syrup, you need just a little bit. You might go through tons of maple syrup on the synthetic stuff because it's not real maple syrup. You're not really getting flavor and all that other stuff, but I can easily make a bottle of Run Amok last a minimum of 6 months. because it's natural, right? There's so much pure flavor. I'm going to keep going on, and I'm going to have to just like cut myself off here. So this is who I buy my maple syrup from. You can buy it from anywhere. There are some great places in Canada to buy maple syrup from. Actually, I would get maple sugar candies. They're pressed into like little Canadian leaves. Those are really good from Canada too. And really, what's really fun about when you do this from Canada is you're buying from their tribes. So they have an Anishinaabe band that they still do a lot of these traditional practices, and then they ship to the United States. Obviously, with tariffs and the political wars going on between the governments, it's expensive. So this is one of the few products I buy that I can find in the United States that's safe. It's pretty unusual for me. So I got to give a shout out to anytime there is a U.S. company that I can support, I'm going to do it. So there you go. All right. If you have questions, let me know. Send me a message on any of my channels. You can leave a comment. YouTube, I'm sorry. I try to get back to you as fast as I can, but sometimes it takes a few days. You guys have lots of comments out there. So in the meantime, thank you for letting me help you shop for groceries with more confidence.